You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is Jonathan Scribner, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kurt Cross and featuring Chelsea Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kurt Cross.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Coach Kurt Cross. As always, she is
Chelsea Cross.
And we're here on the campus of Stevenson University. As you already know, if you're into our podcast, this is the Pro Skills Basketball High Academic Showcase. This is a lot more noise than I'm used to hearing when we are at like any other place we have. You know, it only makes sense that we start with the gentleman whose gym we're in, who's allowing us to be here, Coach Jack Forrest from Stevenson University. Coach, welcome to the podcast.
What's going on? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Coach, this is, well, first of all, let's start with the name. Darius Gordon. What does that mean to you?
The most important man in Stevenson basketball.
Okay, he's important to us too. He works with us part-time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that name, and I wanted to get a raw, unrehearsed reaction from you, and I got it.
Yep.
Coach, you've got 50 kids on this floor, all of whom, assumingly, want to play at the next level. What is it like to open up your gym to this showcase today?
It's great. Yeah, it's great. I think anytime you can have good players in your gym, good players seeing your campus, and getting a feel for what it could be like to play basketball at Stevenson, but mainly see the facilities. I think for me, obviously, I've only been here for 10 months as the head coach, and I've been so pleasantly surprised with everything we have to offer. So it's great to have people in the gym, good players kind of seeing what this campus has to offer.
Chelsea, what you got?
So I think a lot in sports we get competitive. Why do you want to open up your gym to other coaches to see players that you could also potentially recruit?
Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, like it's just about hosting a great event. Anytime you can kind of evaluate guys live, like this is a really important day for us. Like there are some guys on this court that we've seen play a fair amount, but it's always good to get a second look and get the guys to see play in a different environment, a different setting, with different types of players. So more than anything, I've seen this event for a few years now. I've been working with James for a while. So when he brought it up to me to have the event here, I thought, why not? It made a lot of sense.
Speaking of James, we got to give him and his staff Pro Skills Basketball credit. There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to register kids. You've got to make sure mom knows how to get them here. You got to make sure you get other college coaches here to evaluate this talent. Because honestly, if these kids are here, I say personally, unfortunately, sometimes the tides have turned where the parents have expectations. Like, if this coach isn't going to be there, why am I going? And I'm thinking, because your son could get a 4-year opportunity.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's at Kentucky or McDaniel or Washington College or Mount St. Mary's or whatever. We want the kid to be in school. I have a question for you, because right before we turn these mics on, I saw a drill. And as a coach, how important is it that I saw a kid take a left-sided layup with his right hand? Like, how closely are you evaluating those things?
If you want my take, not as closely as you might think.
Okay.
I think these are great because you just get a chance to kind of see guys play live. Of course, when you see a drill like this, you get to see a certain skill set. You get to see catch and shoot. But for me, if you want my honest take, like when the ball gets tipped up and we start watching these games, you really look deeper than the skill set, and you're more looking at how competitive are you, how tough are you, how well do you move, how well do you defend, do you know how to play the right way, what type of person, what type of teammate are you? Those are the main things that you can really get when you come to this event, when you watch guys up close. And you can't always get that on a TV screen or when you watch film. So more than anything, like, I try to watch the people. I try to watch how, who are you as a person, not just, can you make a left-handed layup? Sometimes that doesn't always translate.
Because a kid could he could have 24 and 10, but you might not want him on your campus for one reason or another.
Yeah.
One thing I heard from the coach at Montverde, Steve Turner, who was at Gonzaga, is one thing he said that sat with me is when he goes to scout, he's scouting the parents too.
100%.
I mean, who do you want in the program? And that's not to slight, this type of parent or that type of parent. But if I know I'm going to have issues on campus with the entourage and all that, maybe this is not the campus for you. I'm going to ask you to do something that I don't know if anyone's asked you to do on a podcast before. If you could give a family or a kid one cheat code, what's one thing you would ask maybe kids or parents to keep in mind when they're looking to go somewhere and they're at a showcase like this?
Keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple. Like, I think when you come to an event like this, whether you're the parent of somebody at this event, whether you're actually playing in this event, you got to remind yourself like how long the recruiting process really is, and you're not going to earn a scholarship today. You're not whether you play well today and you score 30 in one of the games or you score 4, it's not going to make or break what type of prospect you are. So I'd say keep in mind, like, trust the process. Just like when you're out there, try and play as well as you possibly can. If you don't play well, you're probably going to have another chance in front of a college coach, if not 8 to 10 more times, because this is our job. This is what we do. We go out and we evaluate guys as many times as we possibly can. So yeah, just trust the process and keep in mind that there's, for even the oldest guys here, there's still a whole senior year to play. We're watching guys throughout their whole senior year as well.
And November through March, that's not the full recruiting process. No. It's the off season, right? It's the AAU games. It's all that. What's important to you? Do you want to see a kid in season, or would you rather see a kid out here on this floor?
Both. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I think, for example, you might see somebody who plays for a very high-level high school team, and maybe with their high school team, they're like the 6th or 7th man.
Right.
They're not playing as much. The ball's in their hands a little bit less. They step out on this floor today, and all of a sudden, like, maybe they're the guy. So
you see leadership. You see something.
Leadership. You see what they're able to do with the ball in their hands. So you want to see both. And some guys, like, they're the man wherever they go because it's like what their skill set is and what they do. But for us, I try to see guys in as many different settings as I possibly can. And if you see guys that can excel in both, probably means they're a pretty good player.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, can you talk to me about this and different types of showcases versus the live periods? How are kids' comforts different, and how do they maybe play a bit different because they're not with their high school team?
Yeah.
Or their AAU team.
Right. I think in this type of event, you definitely see, like, the first couple minutes of the first couple games, you see, like, a little bit of a feeling out process because, these guys don't really know each other for the most part, and they're trying to sort out, like, how hard are we playing? Like, what are we doing here? But, yeah, I think early on, it's like you're trying to figure out who's on your team. You're trying to figure out, what guys do well. Whereas in the live period, these teams are practicing a little bit in June, and they've played together for a few years. They kind of know what the standards, what the expectations are. So, again, like, I think you might go into this event a little bit uncomfortable because you don't really know what to expect. But if you play hard, you play the right way, for the most part, things are going to take care of themselves.
Coach, I imagine that you want, a little bit of everything. But are you looking for the raw, physical kid out here? And it depends on from year to year what your program needs. Are you looking for IQ? You looking for the greatest defenders? What's important to you? Forget what you need right now. If you could build a team from scratch, what are you looking for first?
Yeah, ideally, I think the thing that we're thinking about as a staff, as a program right now is positional size. More than anything, if you look at the good teams in our conference, the best teams in Division III, for the most part, it's not about having a guy who's 6'10" at the 5. It's about 1 through 5 positionally. Are you strong? Are you athletic? And are you big? So for me, like, we definitely try to.
But you're not turning down 6'10".
Oh,
if
certainly
he's skilled,
not.
right?
Certainly not. If you can find one that wants to come to Stevenson, that would be great, though.
Right.
So yeah, I think positional size, and then kind of like you said, just feel and IQ and ability to play the game. We play pretty simply. If you were to watch our team play, and I think for me, it's because I rely on recruiting guys that I think have a feel, have IQ, can make decisions without me, manufacturing the game.
Okay.
Tell me, Coach, I feel like here we don't see guys that are 6'10" or anything. It seems that this is more guard heavy. Why do you think that may be?
It's just for the sheer fact of like there are less big guys out there than there are small guys, you know. Yeah, it's really hard to find guys that have size, that have like the ability to play at the Division I level. I mean, just there are less of them, and I think guys like this, like it just goes to show when you're 6 foot through 6'2", like you have to find a way to separate yourself. You know, like there's 6 foot guard that can shoot it and pass, dribble, all that stuff. Like there are plenty of those guys, but what are you doing to separate yourself? I think is the main idea of this event. But yeah, it's hard. There's just less of them out there for sure.
I'm going to take a turn, and I'm going to talk about what I feel, my eye for the game. You and I have never met each other before today. I've heard about you through Darius. I coached 24 years, girls high school and college basketball. The game is different. I stopped coaching 14 years ago. Loved everything I did. I would never go back, though, because this young lady at 4 years old asked me to stay home more. I won't ever do it again.
Yeah, smart man.
Although I did love it. I think this game has turned into something that we really need to talk about on this podcast and in the basketball circles. There are kids whose dream is to play Division I. I get it. I love that for you. Not everyone's meant to play Division I. Duke is not looking for 15 new guys every year. You know, you have the transfer portal, you have NIL, you have a lot of stuff. I wonder, at what point do we need to talk to parents? Your interests need to be rooted in where's the best fit for your son or daughter, where they can get a 4-year education, and where they can use the sport to get where they want to go. How much of that you look pretty young, but how much of that have you seen change over the years? Because, like, I will not call out names, but I know a kid who was highly, highly talented, spent every minute in the gym. I've been around this country. I've been around 10,000 basketball games probably in my life. I'm 53 years old. I know Coach Steve Turner. I know Brenda Fries. I know them all, right? I know a kid who's highly talented. I know a kid who spent every day at Spark DMV working out. I know a kid who's having workouts at 10 p.m. at night and 6 a.m. in the morning. He's at a college I've never heard of, but he set his bar on D1 and D1 only. At some point, that reality sets in, maybe February, March of senior year, that offer ain't coming. How do we talk to these young people about playing at Stevenson and getting your BA in science or BA in education? That's really where we are, because the ball stops bouncing,
right.
And the NBA ain't looking for 450 guys every year.
Yep.
Round 1, you're guaranteed a contract. Round 2, you're guaranteed an invite. But round 3, you're in the G League or in Europe, and everyone can't make the association.
Right.
How do we have those conversations with people? Because I'll be honest, you've sat with some families who D1, it was D1 or bust, and now the reality sets in. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I could talk about it for a long time. It's really hard, and I think the easiest way to talk about it is like if you have those aspirations, just start to have that conversation early with yourself, your family, your high school coach, like whoever's guiding you in the process. Just try to have the conversation early about being open to the possibility that, you know what, it might not be Division I.
Right.
Not to say, like, all the guys that we recruit, like, I hope they get a Division I offer. And a lot of them, like, that's where it starts. That's what their aspiration is. Like you're saying, it's hard to play in the NBA. It's hard to play Division I, let alone play in the NBA.
It's hard to play college basketball, brother.
It's hard to play college basketball. So I think you just got to be open to the conversation early. And, part of it, I don't think it's really ignorance. I think part of it is, especially with our levels, like, people just don't really realize how hard it is to play Division III, because they know somebody that plays Division I. Oh, I sent my son and he played with him, and they're on the same floor, so they must be the same level. So,
my daughter's been on the floor with Jordan Smith Jr. from Paul VI, right? It doesn't make her, University of Tennessee's #1 recruit.
Right. So you got to be open to the possibility that, listen, like, there are opportunities to play anywhere where you can, like you're saying, get a really good education, still play really high-level basketball, set yourself up for the future. So it's difficult because I think there's pride and there's ego involved, and a lot of times, like, you might not want to admit to yourself that it didn't work out. But if it, I'm saying, like, it's okay.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you're playing college basketball and you have a Stevenson uniform or York uniform, you probably did something right, and you're probably a damn good player.
Right, and the tough part is, like, you know, sometimes the parents' eyes and appetite are bigger than the skill set of the kid.
Yeah.
You do have that. You do have, maybe the kid doesn't want the commitment of Division I. I know a Division I athlete that during COVID, they had to send videos to their coach of what they were doing. They had to take meal cards and go to certain places to eat. I mean, it's a job.
Yep.
You work your job here at Stevenson. I know a young lady who went to Columbia University. That was her job.
Yeah.
And, like, she doesn't play anymore. She got burnt out. She's on Wall Street now. She's doing great. I know her family. Her brother, same thing. He went to, where did he go to school?
Juniata?
Juniata. He went to Juniata. He's doing great. His mama's proud.
And now that I'm thinking about it, the game that we saw him play in was against Catholic University, and it was probably when he was the assistant coach there.
Probably.
3-4 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, so you would have been there. So we have met you.
Yeah.
And I think Juniata lost to Catholic that night.
Hopefully.
It was a February, probably 3 years ago, because he's 1 or 2 years out of college now.
Okay.
So it's his last year or year before his last
What's
year.
his name?
Mason.
Hardy.
Oh, yeah, I remember Mason.
Mason Hardy? Yeah. So we know his mom. We've known her for
Good
years.
player.
His
Really
sister
good player.
Madison went to Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, she played at Columbia. She was a high level. I mean, she was the real deal.
Yeah, but just to tie a bow on it, like I think you got to realize pretty quickly, like, you know, it's okay to have those. It's okay to have those aspirations and say, hey, like, I want to play Division I. But at the end of the day, like, come to terms with the fact, like, it might not work out. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just might mean that there's less opportunities out there than there were, like we're saying, 3-4 years ago. So
And it's really tough because what we have to understand is the number one recruit at, I don't know, let's just say Kentucky. He's probably pretty damn good, but all the kids that get recruited everywhere, they were all the number one option wherever they went to high school in the 25,000 high schools across the country. And then when you get to Owings Mills, when you get to Northeast at Catholic University, when you get to Emmitsburg at Mount St. Mary's, all 6 kids who were recruited, they were all 1,000-point scorers, 1,500-point scorers, right? They all did all the right things, and now you're like, well, damn.
Yeah.
What can I do besides shoot a jump shot? You know, can I find the open guy? Can I, double that? Can I be a dog on defense? You know, that kind of thing. I've always had this thought, and I want to ask a guy who's actively coaching. If you have a kid that doesn't score a ton, but is just a dog on defense, how much does that matter to you?
I love them. I love it. I think, for the way that we coach our guys is like, we're always trying to tell them, like, lean into your strengths. You know, whatever it is that you do, when you step onto the floor, like, we're putting you in the game for a reason. It's because you have strengths that can help our team win. If for you it's like you're not a great scorer, that doesn't mean that you don't have value to our team, and it definitely doesn't mean that you can't help us win. If it's guarding the other team's best player, if it's cutting, if it's offensive rebounding, if it's just like keeping the ball moving on offense and being a screener and like a connector, we call it, you can definitely help us win. But for us, like, we're definitely like a defensive-minded, defensive-oriented team. So anybody that takes pride in the defensive end and likes to guard 94 feet, like, those are guys that I definitely like.
I got 2 questions for you. I don't know if you have anything to finish up with, Chelsea. Why am I sending my son here? I took your question.
So my question.
I'm sorry. Rewind. What question do you have?
So I'm a player.
Yeah.
In this scenario, I'm a boy. I'm a player, and I have Stevenson and 4 other schools. Why do I want to play for Coach Boris?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I mean,
well, thank you.
I would say first and foremost, like, anybody that does ask that question, and the recruits that, come to campus and they sit in the office, the first thing that I talk to them about has nothing to do with basketball.
Great.
Nothing to do with basketball. It's about what can this community and this campus and the education, like, what can it do for you? We're lucky that this is a high academic school. It's a very career-driven place where if you apply yourself and you're proactive, and you sit down with the professors and all of the people that work in our career center here, you can set yourself up for the future way beyond, when basketball is over. And more than anything, like, that's what I care about with our guys. So I would start with that, just the academics and the career side of things. Obviously, like the guys that are walking around today, like they can see it's a really nice campus. The facilities are great. We're lucky to have such a nice gym and weight room and all that. I wouldn't want somebody to come here because of that, but it's definitely a plus. I just think in terms of the basketball side of things, like we're definitely like it's a newer staff. We're building. We're moving in the right direction.
You got Darius Gordon, man.
Yeah, and you got Darius Gordon. You know, I should have just answered it with that. We got Darius Gordon. Why wouldn't you come here? So no, I think it's an exciting time for us because we're kind of in a little bit of a transition with a newer staff and some young guys in our program that I'm excited about, and I think it's a chance to kind of start something new. If you're a recruit, like this is a program that I think has a ton of potential, and guys that want to be a part of that, I think it's really exciting.
Come November, you know, I ask this question to everybody. Come November, come December, why should I come up $7.95? Why should I come watch Stevenson basketball? What am I going to see?
Because they compete, because they play hard. Yeah, I think more than anything, like, you know, for us, like we talk more about like the process of winning and what goes into it and how hard we play and what we can control, as opposed to, you know, I don't want to answer that question and say, oh, you're going to see us play fast or you're going to see us shooting a lot of threes. Like, I think more than anything, I hope that you would come to a game and say, man, like those guys play really hard. They look like they love playing together. They look like they love playing basketball. And then more than anything, like that creates a fun environment. Not style of play and all that stuff. Like when you see guys that are really dialed into winning, playing for each other, just playing super hard and enjoying the game, makes for a fun environment. And luckily, like we got a taste of that last year. So I think, you know, hopefully that's what you'll see come November, December here.
We're not Joe Rogan. We're not an ESPN podcast, but between our social and our listeners, there's 10,000 people a month that are connecting with us. You have their ear. What do you want to tell them about Stevenson, basketball, the campus, or what have you?
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that I just talked about. I think this is a place where you kind of have to come see it before, you know, I could say, I always say this to recruits and their families, like, I could tell you a ton of different things about Stevenson. I could go down the line. Every college coach here could give you 100 different reasons why you should come to their school. I think for us, the best part about it is like this campus itself, like really sells itself. It's a great place to be. It's a great community that's very sports driven, and I think you feel that when you walk on campus. So more than anything, like it's about the people. It's about the people. If you came here and you see it and you talk to the people here, everybody has a positive experience. People enjoy coming to school here, and there are a ton of different people here that want to see each other do well.
If I come to a game, is there a hot dog waiting for me?
There's a hot dog and there's a seat right behind the bench waiting for you too. Yeah.
Hey, you put me in, coach. I can lace them up. I don't got no eligibility. I got no eligibility. Chelsea, anything else?
I mean, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for having us here, and thank you for hosting the showcase.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kurt Cross.
I'm Chelsea Cross.
Yes, she is. He's Coach Morris. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops Podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kurt Cross, featuring Chelsea Cross. Thanks for listening.